Go. Extreme Galileo, I don't believe you. You play us for a fool. Galileo, don't change what's already true. Oh, something new. You think crazy thoughts. You think you're right in the world now.
Hi everyone, it's Front Row Phyllis. Well, my next guest is a superstar in the making. At 22, I believe they call it actually a triple threat, or in your case, even bigger. Singer, songwriter, actor, show host, aerialist, and has a 4-octave plus range. Welcome, Olivia Rocks. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm also a cat lover, so I don't know if that's a part of it.
A cat lover and a guitar. I'm enthralled by the guitars behind you. Before we jump into anything, we have to hear the story. So tell us about the guitars. Do you love playing like different guitars?
I do. So I come from a family of musicians,
Yeah.
and so a couple of them are theirs. I can't take credit for all of the guitars up there,
Okay.
but I absolutely love playing guitar. I started when I was about 7 or 8, I'd say.
Okay.
And it's just, I also play piano. So those are my two loves, my babies. These are all my babies. That's the best way I can describe them.
That's pretty incredible. They're amazing. You know, it's funny. So speaking of, so this year, you know, people picked up all kinds of new hobbies in the past year, right? With all of us being on quarantine. So were there any hobbies that you picked up? Some people picked up cooking or painting or baking. Was there anything that you picked up this year?
I picked up a lot. I was doing a lot of online classes, but really the main thing that I was able to work on is my book. I've been writing a novel and it's almost finished. So it's correlating right with the end of the pandemic. It's going to be finished. I'm stoked about it.
Wow, that's incredible. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the book? Just a little hint?
It's a sci-fi book. It's a
Okay.
novel. I just passed 110,000 words, if you can believe it. I probably need to edit it down a little bit, but it's going to be really fun. It's definitely an adventure.
Wow. Well, you know what? To say that this year has been challenging for all of us, especially those of us in entertainment and music, is pretty much an understatement, right? And it sounds like you've been extremely busy, but did you find there was a challenge in creating new projects during this year?
Not at all. Actually, the opposite. I have been so busy during the pandemic. I started a show on Facebook called The Olivia Rocks Show.
Yeah.
That took a lot of my time, but it was really amazing. And I know I featured Jim Peterick on that
Yes.
show. Incredible. He's a friend of yours as well.
Yes.
So I've been able to connect with a lot of musicians that way virtually, which is great because I'm a very social person, and that's been the hardest part for me, is not being out and being social in the pandemic.
Right.
But no, I don't think there's a lack of creativity happening during the pandemic for me. I've been writing more than ever, creating more than ever, doing just everything and anything that I can to stay busy. I hate being bored, so I never let myself get bored.
Right. And I think all of us in this business, we're so used to being on the go, and we're so used to, right? And it's like 24/7. It's like, people always ask, well, do you ever get tired? Like, the hours are crazy. I'm like, we don't really have set hours, you know? It's like you work until you're done working. That's how it works.
Absolutely.
So during the pandemic, and all of us in music and entertainment, it was kind of like we had to take a pause and figure out, okay, now what are we going to do? So tell us a little bit, just jumping ahead, tell us a little bit about the Olivia Rocks Show. I mean, I think that we have this, I think we should do it together is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right?
It's a talk and music show, so I feature incredible artists, and also, I just featured a former Olympian on there, so it's definitely a variety show in that way.
Right.
I do a lot of specials. I did an Earth Day special. I've done the World Health Day special, St. Patrick's Day special, because I'm half Irish, so had to do the St. Patrick's Day special.
Yeah.
And we feature cool drink recipes. I bring on chefs, and it's really just a great feel-good show.
Yeah. That is amazing. I love that. So something else that I also saw, and you got to tell me if this is true. Did you write your first song at 3 years old? 3 years old. I mean, I have kids. 3 years old, they weren't writing a song. I just know.
I think it was about a butterfly.
Really?
Which, I mean, that's very, I was way ahead of my time, man. I was
Right.
writing about butterflies. It was pretty impressive. No, I'm just kidding.
What did you name the song? Do you remember?
I think it was called Butterfly, literally.
Really?
As a 3-year-old, all of my stuffed
Right.
animals were named after what they were. So I had a stuffed giraffe, and of course the giraffe was named Giraffe. I had a unicorn, and of course the unicorn was named Uni. So I was very creative with my naming titles at that point in my life.
That is incredible. I love that. Before we were speaking about that, your parents, obviously, both of them, musical talents. Do you think that your love for music came from your surroundings or your internal voice?
I think it's a combination, because when you are around that, you definitely learn by osmosis. And I remember I was backstage learning guitar from Jonathan Butler at like 7 years old.
Wow.
So that was definitely a huge part of my upbringing. But there was always something in me saying, this is what I want to do. I know that sounds weird, but I think I was probably 2 years, I think I was 2.5 when I went on stage for the first time. And of course, my dad was performing. He was performing at the Chicago Theater. And my favorite movie was Snow White. So of course, I'm like, can I please go up? Please, Daddy, please. He said yes. That could have gone very differently, right, if I went up there and bombed. But I got a standing ovation at 2.5, and I was bit by the bug. And ever since then, it just transformed me, I think.
Right. That is, so shifting gears, let's talk about your recent music video, Galileo, which I don't know if you know, has over 10 million streams. I mean, that's insane. You start talking in these numbers and you're like, wow, that's a lot of people that are really watching it, which is amazing. And I know why, because I mean, the creativity is just like unstoppable in this. It really is, including wearing a full beard. So what was the inspiration behind that?
Oh gosh, it was actually about Galileo. I wrote
Right.
the song when I was first studying about him, and there was a part of me that sort of related to Galileo, which sounds very strange because, of course, he's this old man and I was a young girl. But he was very misunderstood in his work and his thoughts. So when I was just starting out in music, I felt that way a lot. I felt that people didn't quite understand, hey, I can be a young writer and put out my own songs. A lot of the times I was going into meetings like, hey, what should I do with my career? And I always got, oh, well, we have songwriters who are going to write your album, and we have people who will style you and everything and do everything for you. And there was a part of me that went, I want to write my own songs. I feel like that's who I am. My songs are a piece of me, and to not put those songs on an album was like a travesty. So I wrote the song Galileo because his thoughts and his ideals were very misunderstood and very ahead of his time. So I felt that way in my music as a young writer, and I wrote this song about him. And then when the video came about, all along, actually, I was wanting to play Galileo, which sounds so hysterical, and put on the beard and just make it this kind of comedic twist on Galileo that I'm playing him. And so we filmed this video. We made it a little bit different. Instead of inventing all the things that he did invent, such as, the telescope and all that kind of stuff, he invented the electric guitar, of course. So,
Right.
bit of comedy, and the townspeople are looking around like, what? That's heresy. You can't play electric guitar. You have to play the little lute. This is the way. This is everything. So it was definitely about rock and roll and getting your thoughts and feelings across. So hope you guys.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It's seriously, truly, and it just makes you smile. It makes you laugh. It makes you smile. It's like makes you happy. Another one is Go For It, is another single and music video. But here, I have to say, you take your voice to literally a different hemisphere, okay? You held the longest note on a pop song, 33 seconds. So my question, how does one train for that? Not that I want to start doing this because I can't sing.
So whenever you're watching TV, just hold your breath anytime they go underwater. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Right.
Um, it wasn't really something that I trained for. I'm definitely very, very disciplined in my singing. I sing every day, always warm up, always do my scales. I've done that since I was 5. So it's a definitely huge part of me to have that strong conditioning as an artist. But for that particular note that I held, it was sort of a spur of the moment type of thing. We were in the studio, and I was originally just going to hold it for half the amount of time, but I had practiced and I'm like, okay, I can do this. But then we're in there, and of course the running joke in the studio with when you're performing a song called Go For It is, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it out. So I had this wacky idea to hold it double the length all the way to the end of the song. And of course my producers are like, no way, there's no way you can hold that. And someone looks it up in the studio. No, that's way past the longest note. You're never gonna be able to do that. But I'm gonna go for it. So I went in there and I did it. It was wild. I couldn't even believe, like, in my soul, I didn't think I
It
could do
came
it.
out of you, right?
Yeah. And we even filmed it because we couldn't believe it. We're like, oh my God, I just did that. This is so cool.
Wow.
But,
So then did you have to redo that and do it again?
I think I might have literally used that first take.
Use that take? Yeah.
I know that I've done it multiple times live and all that kind of stuff, but
Right. Wow. So your debut album, Pop Rocks, showcases to me, it's actually pretty amazing. I think it takes pop and rock and throws in a splash of jazz, which obviously is your heritage as well. And, was it difficult? Because I've always asked artists, is it difficult deciding what songs you wanted to showcase on the first album, especially that debut album, right?
it was so hard. And I'll tell you what we did. So I called a bunch of my friends, probably 20 of them, and they all came over, their families, everybody. We cooked a 5-course meal, my parents and I.
I love that.
It was hysterical. And we all sat down in our living room, crammed together. We had the Costco chairs all smushed together so we could all be in the same room. And we played 50 songs of my original songs. I know. And I'm a bit of I love paper and writing and everything. So I printed out these lyric sheets for everyone. And if you saw the stack of all of them, they were about this big.
Wow.
And I had little rating systems on the bottom of each lyric. So as we listened, they could read the lyrics and they could rate the song. So if they were saying, oh, I love this song, this is the best song, they would do 5 stars. Sometimes they'd write more stars, which is so sweet. And from there, that helped me to realize, okay, this is what my friends like, this is what my family likes. And everyone, signed their names at the top of the papers so that we could look back and really kind of formulate. And then from there, of course, it was up to the label.
Right.
All of that.
Small details, they kind of have a little say.
A little bit. But no, it
Wow.
was very crucial to pick those songs because it's such an important thing that the first songs that you put out,
For sure.
that's the tone for your whole career.
It does. It definitely does. I mean, it changes, but it definitely sets the tone for sure. So I don't know if everyone knows that you were in the top 10 on season 15 on American Idol. And I don't know if you watch it now because obviously I do and talk about it. But that's kind of where they're at right now. And what advice would you give these kids where they're at right now? The top 9 or 10, I think they're at right now.
Well, what's funny is I actually just had a friend who was in there, Ava. She's amazing, and
yeah.
But I think for anyone who's out there on any sort of singing show, the most important thing I can say to you is have fun.
Yeah.
Because it's it's a long, short ride because I was on the show for literally a year, but as soon as you're gone, it's all just ends. So you have to enjoy every second of it and be yourself. That is the most important thing. If you're not yourself, what are you doing it for? So Be yourself, have fun, and just go for it.
Right. Just go for it. Exactly. Oh, I love that. And I love that movie. Have you seen that movie with Adam Sandler and now I forgot who the blonde is. Just go for it.
I
Oh,
don't.
and Jennifer Aniston's in it. You
Okay, I
have
love all of those actors. I have to watch that.
you have to watch it. You do. It's so good. It's one of my favorites.
Adam Sandler is just amazing.
I know, right? He's so funny. So, speaking of collaborations, because I'm thinking about this, who would you collaborate with? Any artist, any band? Who would it be, you think? Maybe
Well,
I only get to pick one.
one, oh no.
I know.
All of them. That's my one. No. I would say I do really want to collaborate with Shawn Mendes. I think he's a very talented young man, and I think that would be a great collaboration. Just watched his documentary last night, and
Wasn't it amazing?
yes,
You know
really.
what? That's funny because I did the same thing. I watched all these different documentaries, but that one I thought was brilliant. Brilliant, right?
Very well done. It almost, the scene where he's about to go on stage and he's underneath the stage, you could feel the energy, and I know that energy. And
You know that feeling.
I was thinking of it. Yeah, I was thinking of all my past experiences about to go on stage, and they captured that so brilliantly. So I was very impressed with that.
It was so. So when you collaborate with him, will you remember to call me because I want to do that? I'm doing the backstage interview with both of you, and then we could all three go up from the stage.
That would be fun.
That would be kind of cool. So, I know, right? So this year, it's so funny to think that it's going to be May. I mean, time has been going right. Ooh, it's
The whole
just
year. Gone.
gone. Right.
Yeah.
So what is on the horizon for the remainder of 2021? Tell us.
Nothing. I'm just staying home now. You know me. I'm busy. I have an
I know.
out at the end of next month, and I'm so happy about this next song. The music video is epic. I can't wait for you to see it. I can't spoil it too much for you.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. But then after that, I have a big announcement for something coming out. Gosh, I'm sorry. A lot of it's in the works. I can't talk too much about it.
Right.
My book is getting ready to be finished and now hopefully published very, very soon. And then I'm going to be next year. This is obviously not 2021, but next year I'm going to be going on tour again.
Ah, right?
I feel like I've been inside for 5 years because I haven't played a live show in a year.
I know. Isn't that incredible? It's just mind-boggling to me. In fact, people always ask me, they're just like, when are concerts coming back? What do you think is going to happen? And I'm like, I just, we're involved in those conversations pretty much every single day. And I'm like, I just don't know how, there's some festivals that want to take off this summer. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I'm not really sure how it's going to happen. I don't know how you're going to do this,
Well,
So,
I will say I'm performing a festival in Cabo next month.
Really?
And
Okay.
all of these social distance measures and really just showing how to put on a safe concert, because I think if we don't get back to playing live music safely,
Yes.
the music industry is going to be very destroyed. So I'm very stoked to perform live in a safe way, and that energy with the audience is going to be different, obviously, because we're not packed to the stage.
Right.
But hey, also it's good because you're not going to get a cold. When you go to a music concert and someone's like bumping you and you're spilling your drink on you
and the whole night.
Right. So that part of it's going to be alleviated, and now it's just about the music and the vibe. So that's exciting.
I want to hear more about how they're going to do that, because I think that's great. You know what? Some of the bigger ones, the big festivals, I just don't see, there's no way to keep everybody safe. There just isn't. I mean, you have 1 million people, you got 1 million people. Right. So, so I'm curious. I know that we were talking to one of the bands that was doing in New Zealand, and they had no restrictions. They had nothing because they didn't have any cases. Right. So I said, that's just amazing. Not walking around with a mask. I mean, that's just amazing. Or we go from studio to studio, wear the mask, take it off, wear the mask, take it off, right? So yeah,
Makeup, take it off. No.
exactly. Put the makeup back on, a whole
Yeah.
nine yards.
The lipstick. You know what's funny is I went out the other day, which is one of the first times that I've gone out because I got vaccinated, and I'm so stoked.
Oh, awesome, right?
And I was doing my makeup for literally the first time in like a year. And I did this bright red lipstick, this like glossy red lipstick. And then I realized, shoot, I still have to wear a mask. So I'm wiping up, going everywhere. And
Right.
I completely forgot. I was
Right.
literally about to walk out the house and I realized, oh, right, we're still in a pandemic. Just because I'm vaccinated doesn't mean we're out of it.
Exactly. They needed to come out with, I think there's one line that we use that's a lip, that it's like a lip stain, and it's really pretty bright colors, and it doesn't come off on the mask. That's something, it's funny, the things that you learn during this whole thing, right? Who would have known?
Oh, yeah. The dream of going maskless into the world.
I know.
Oh, what a crazy
I
thought.
know. I've had those actual real dreams. I'm like, wait, is this real? Is it not?
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, where am I?
That's so funny.
It is crazy. Well, Olivia, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for talking to us today. I know exactly why your fans are so passionate about you, your music, and that infectious smile of yours. You are amazing.
Thank you so much, Phyllis. It was
And I hope to meet you sometime soon in person.
Yes.
Right?
We can
Right.
hug each other.
Yes,
Wonderful.
we're gonna give each other a hug. I think we should take like a picture. Well, I'm gonna take a picture so that we're pretending to hug each other now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, hug. There we go.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you again.
Thank you, Phyllis. It was wonderful to speak with you. And I'm excited. Hopefully you can watch all these new projects that are coming out. And
I can't
end
wait.
of May, I can't wait for you to hear my new single.
I cannot wait. Thank you and good luck to you. We'll see you soon.